Okay, no, I got you. So, I'm sorry, how was everything going?
No, it's just going.
Just going. Okay. It's just going. Oh no, that doesn't sound good.
It's just, I mean, you know how it is with kids and school going on, and
Yeah.
like soccer season is ended, but he's starting off-season training, and that starts this week, and that's in Manchester. So I'm going to be driving 45 minutes to let him work out for an hour, and then yeah.
Ouch. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So, oh boy. Yeah, no, I hear you. So it's been a hot minute since we recorded.
Yes.
I see here last episode was posted back on October 18th.
Yeah, it sounds about right.
Sounds about right. Yeah, I know. And that's all on me. So
It's not.
As far as anybody out of our like 7 listeners from Germany that don't even speak English,
Yeah.
or wherever they're from. No, we were dealing with a death in the family. My mom passed away, so we were just dealing with that and just trying to get back towards some semblance of normalcy after that occurrence there. And I think we're kind of we're back there, and it'd been long enough. So
yeah,
I'm glad we were able to get together tonight to kind of catch up and see what's going on in the world. So
yeah,
but yeah, no, that was just one of those things that unexpected but expected. I kept saying, or unexpected but not surprised, I think is the phrase I used over and over. So
yeah,
just one of those things. And then spent a lot of time off during the holiday there with Thanksgiving. Had a lot of time off I needed to use, otherwise I just lose it from work, and spent all that time kind of just getting dad all squared away. As far as some things that need to get taken care of. And so, yeah, things are kind of, after doing a lot of stuff with him and just dealing with all the funeral stuff, just, yeah, now we're getting back into the craziness of just, like you said, kids in school and getting the first semester kind of squared away, I think is what's super important.
yeah.
So,
Right in time for the holidays.
right, time for the holidays. I saw a funny clip yesterday. Well, no, it was this morning, I think, is where I saw it. It's a guy that he's actually on social media quite a bit. I don't know if you've ever seen this. It's a black dude that's a dad. He always wears a backwards baseball cap, and he does these jokes where his kid asks him a question, and he goes, "No, stupid." He calls his kid "no, stupid" every time, or something like that. Have you ever seen? You know this guy I'm talking about at all?
No, I haven't seen him.
Oh God, he's pretty funny, and he did one this morning. It wasn't talking to his kid, but it was basically him pretending to be speaking to his wife, and he goes, Christmas back in, or Christmas back when we were kids, and he's probably right around our age, I would think.
Yeah.
And basically it was the we've got the holiday music program at school. Oh, that sounds nice. And then this Christmas break, and then he starts talking about his kid, about what they do at school. All right, did you know that today is Grinch Day, and then tomorrow's Reindeer Day, and then they have make your hair like a candy cane? Do they put candy canes in their hair at school? What's going on? And then it was like, and just to let you know that school will be letting out early tomorrow. And they're like, they got the email today.
Yeah.
And this is like, oh my God. It's just like, it's one of those things. It's funny because it's so true.
Yep.
all the craziness. And it's like, further details will be coming out in another separate email. I'm like, oh my God. This is hitting a little too close to home. So
Yes.
yeah. And yeah, it's just one of those things. So yeah, it'll be nice once the semester's over and you get your Christmas break there. Are you taking some time off towards when Christmas is around, or do you just have to work the whole time?
I'm gonna have a few days off. Well, my company gives us a half day at Christmas time to take off for shopping.
Okay.
Which is always nice. So we're doing that before the day we're traveling to Indiana, so we can get on a little bit early.
Good.
And then taking a couple days after Christmas. I'm still under the 5-year mark, so I'm stuck at 2 weeks of vacation, where my wife went in with like 4 weeks at her current job. So it's always like, well, let's take these days off. I'm like, Well, I have
I
as
don't.
much vacation as you, so.
Correct. Yeah, I hear you. No,
But
no, yeah.
March is.
Because well, is she the same way too? I can't remember if that's the policy there. Is it use it or lose it? I can't remember.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so since like I don't know, early November she hasn't worked a full week and she won't for the rest of the year.
And she went. Yeah. Because yeah, that's kind of what happened to me. I think I was off. Oh gosh, yeah, I think I was off November 20th through the rest of the month of November, and then in December, I was off on I was off on Monday,
Mm,
and then I'm off on the 13th, which is the following Friday, and then I'm off the 20th through the rest of the year as well. So I had to use a lot of time off,
yeah.
just so I don't lose it. So it works out well. Plus, there's a lot of built-in holidays and days off that like our company, or not our company, my division. Sorry,
Mm,
specifically like for Thanksgiving, you get Thanksgiving Day off, but we work a different federal holiday. Even though the market's closed, we work. I think was it Veterans Day, but then that gives us the day after Thanksgiving off
yeah.
all the time. So we said, yeah, we'd rather work.
Yeah.
We'll work the federal holiday and then give us the day after Thanksgiving. We'll take that any day of the week. So
Yeah.
that's a nice little arrangement they got there.
Since I'm not in a regulated industry, we don't
Mhm.
get those bank holidays off, but they do give us the day after Thanksgiving. So,
That's nice. Good.
and we get Christmas Eve off too.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's really sweet of them. Nice.
Yeah.
And it's always dead. I don't understand why don't all companies just close. To be honest with you, it's
Yeah.
so dead that day. But except for retail, obviously. But yeah. So how's Thanksgiving? How did that go?
It was good. The weekend before we went to Mike's in Columbia,
Okay.
spent an afternoon there. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And then Thanksgiving Day we went to Aaron's parents and spent the day. And I mean it was normal. I sat
Oh, so
and
okay. And then you didn't host at all this year, which is
no,
nice.
yes,
Which is awesome, right?
yeah. But we're doing my family for Christmas, so
Oh, good God.
we'll see. And last year when we did Thanksgiving, everyone spent the night on Wednesday night.
Hmm.
And so everyone was here for Thursday morning and spent the day here. So that's what we're going to do on Christmas too. That Friday night, that before we do it, everyone's going to spend the night in our house,
Hmm.
and then we'll do Christmas the Saturday before Christmas.
Okay.
And I'm like,
That'll
that's
make it a little less. That'll make your actual Christmas pretty less, stress free. Hopefully. Well, I guess you have to do her side of the family then, though. I guess. But,
yeah, we'll do that the weekend after Christmas.
yeah. Oh, okay. See,
Our thing is we don't leave the house on Christmas.
that's awesome.
We
See, that's the way to do it.
My dad always said, we have these kids that got all these brand new toys and we're going to take them away from them.
Yeah, I know.
He's like,
right?
no, we're staying home. If anyone wants to see us, they can come over.
They can come see us. Exactly. Yeah.
So
Nope,
we've
that's the
taken
way to
that.
do it.
Yeah, we've taken that same approach to it.
Nice. Very cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, that's good. And then yeah, my Thanksgiving, nothing to talk about too much. My one cousin was there, and she was there by herself. I guess her husband had to work that day or something, or had a work thing.
Mm,
So she was kind of on her own. She's got a little one that's like maybe 5 years old, and
yeah.
man, nonstop energy. Like holy smokes! Like the whole family was just knocked out by this one little kid
Yeah.
because she just wouldn't stop. Oh my gosh, just boundless. Like if there's some way science could just bundle that energy and use it for something, oh my god.
So is everybody else like, that's what it's like with Emmy?
Oh my well, no, even she's like, oh my god, she's out of control. I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's how you used to be, you crazy child. So yeah, no, compared to that, she's mellowed out a
Yeah.
ton compared to that. But I was like, but yeah, that's just the age. It's
Yeah.
just the age. So yeah, no, that was it. But it was still a nice time. It was a little awkward as far as the first holiday with our mom, but
Yeah.
it was good to get through it. And then let's see. So like you said, we're working towards Christmas, and then my middle one, Katie, she's working toward confirmation. And we had a
Mm,
prayer service at church last night,
yeah.
and no one was really there. It was basically just the class, and then maybe a few retired folks, but then mostly just the parents of a few kids. But
Yeah.
not even most of the parents came, to be honest with you. Kind of sad that a lot of parents were just sitting out in the car instead of just coming in, to
Oh,
celebrate with the kids and
yeah.
just be there for them. It was Jay. It was a prayer service, but it was basically just telling personal stories about why this is important to them, but going
Yeah.
through this kind of this sacrament. And I swear, Jay, they had 2 kids that came back from the previous year's class, so they were ninth graders, and the rest are all eighth graders. Okay, and they're sharing their personal stories, which not to make light of it or anything like that, but the only thing I could give you a comparison to, or anyone that's of non-religious background that might be listening, it was almost felt like an AA meeting. It really did.
Yeah.
But not, these kids don't have issues. It's the people in their lives that have issues that are impacting them. And it's hard. It's hard enough for adults to get up in front of a group of people and speak, but let alone an eighth grader that's got all the hormones and the fears and feeling like they're always being judged by their peers about everything and anything, right?
Yeah.
But the fact that they were able to, bare their souls and say, this is what's going on in my life, and this is why I wanted to do this. This is why I find solace in religion, and it's an escape. Not even an escape. It's a, what's the proper phrase, I guess, to put this? It's not an escape, but it's it's where to go to say, this is where I can not have all the problems of the world, or
a safe place.
take the basically a recluse, or not a recluse, God dang it, Jay, what's the word I'm thinking of?
I have no
But
clue.
just to get to a place where they felt comfortable enough in that group setting to share stories of alcoholism in their family, or abuse, or cancer impacting their family, just all of the things you could think of. That was just you I mean, kids were moved to tears, because it's people telling real problems. And that's the thing, you always hear these days, you never know what someone's going through,
Right.
ever, right? You
Yep.
just never know. Because this is not putting anything out there, but I just learned something last night. So one of the kids that presented was the daughter of two of my kids had their mom as a teacher at their previous school.
Yeah.
And pretty exclusive with with Katie. She was her homeroom teacher for 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
And math teacher too. And just talking about the issues between the parents, and you never would have known. It's just like, she'd come to school, teach like normal, but they were going through a really nasty breakup as far as her and the dad, and basically her husband, right? And the kid was able to get up and talk about how divorce, what the the impact of her mental health that a divorce puts a kid through.
Yeah.
And it's just like, never would have known. Never in a million years would have never known that the teacher, or those kids, because the kids went to school, they were just a year older than my daughter, one of them. And then there's another one that's a little bit younger, I think. And one that had been in high school. He moved out of the school to go to high school at that point. But you just go, oh my God, had we known, it's just like you would have a different approach with the teacher. Like, my kid's struggling. And it's like, it just makes you feel like the biggest ass ever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
For anything that's you think as an issue, it's like, man, she's got actual real problems going on, right?
Yeah.
So it's just like, oh my God. Yeah. And then, I got another issue where I don't know if you heard the story about the kid that got shot and killed. Well, he was shot and then he died from the wound. And he was a CBC kid with Brody, and he didn't even know him. I mean, he was brand new to the school this year.
Yeah.
He didn't know him, didn't know of him or anything like that. Just one of those things. They just in different worlds, basically, at that school. And the guidance counselor, they're actually, they're also trained, I don't want to say therapists, but counselors, right?
Yep.
So having to email him about something in regards to school-related stuff, I emailed him back. I go, I am so sorry I emailed you. You got way more on your plate dealing with as far as helping kids at the school that are impacted by this, working with the family directly, that's going through all this. And I just go, I don't even know. I how do we even do this? And he's just like, look, real, other life goes on too. And it's just, you have to deal with it. So just a lot of life. You know what I mean? Just a lot of life going on right now. And I just go, 2024 is just I will stick with it. I think we spoke about it before. The 20s just aren't great.
No, they have not been.
Say what?
They have not been.
They have not been. No, sir. Not at all. The 20s are just awful. But that's why we talk about nerd stuff and we drink beer to help with the problem.
Yeah. Well, do you want a little pick me up story then?
Yeah, give me a pick me up story. What you got?
So this past weekend, my cousin Luke got married.
Yeah. Oh God, I'm so glad you said that because I saw the picture of Nasher.
Oh
He
my
was
gosh.
amazing. That picture, it made me smile so much, Jay. That picture was hilarious. But no, keep
So
going. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
so yeah, we get to the reception. Nash was the ring bearer.
hmm
Did awesome during the ceremony. We were kind of worried what was going to happen, but he did really good. So he gets there and he's just having a blast.
hmm
And every time I see him, a new part of his tuxedo is gone. The coat's gone, so he's running around the vest. The vest is like unhooked and just hanging from him as he's running around. Then the vest is gone.
Yeah,
And when they start playing the music, he's got no shirt on.
of course
He's
not.
running around in just his pants. Took his shoes off.
Yeah,
So what does my brother Kevin do? Hey, why don't you put your tie around your head too?
nice. Yep, absolutely. That's
So
the appropriate. That's the appropriate wardrobe
yes.
for a wedding at that point.
So yes, he was running around crazy the whole time. It was great.
No, that's what it's supposed to do.
Yeah.
Especially for that age. Absolutely, that's hilarious. Yeah, that's a good pick me up story. That was
Yeah.
great. So wedding went well.
Yeah, it went well. Madeline, so my mom and Mike and his family rented a house because it was in Washington, Missouri, and they didn't want to drive back.
Mm-hmm.
So they actually went Friday because of rehearsal and all that stuff.
Sure.
So Lainey got pretty tired early into it, even before the music started. So Madeline went back to the house with her, so everybody else could stay and have fun. And then Mike took Nash and the old people, and we stayed around till the end, and it was a good time.
Good. Yeah, in Washington, that's still a little bit of a drive for you.
Yeah, it was about an
That's
hour.
yeah, I mean it's 44 though. Is it kind of?
No,
Well, I'm thinking how you get there.
we took the back roads because
Oh,
that's
that's
the
right.
quickest
Oh, I
way.
know the road you're talking about. It takes forever going that way because it takes you through what Augusta.
Yep,
Yeah, that's right.
Defiance and Augusta and
Define.
that's all.
Yeah. Oh, Jen and I did that once when we drove back from Washington.
Yeah,
It was New Haven is where we were at,
yeah,
and we had to take that to get to St. Charles. That's what we did. And oh my God, that took forever through that back road.
it wouldn't have been that bad if it wasn't for the snow
Yeah. Oh God, that's right. The snow. That's right.
that
Did they
started
plow
that
the roads
morning.
at all?
Yeah, the roads weren't in bad shape.
Okay, that's good.
We left about a half an hour earlier than we thought we needed to, and we got there and there was no issue. And we're like, what are we gonna do for half an hour now?
Yeah.
So
Because that road that night, because I'm guessing you went home that night, correct?
yeah, we did.
There's some really steep parts,
Yep.
really steep parts of that road. That's what I was concerned about for you. So yeah, but you lived to tell the tale.
Yes, we did.
All right, well that's good. Let's do this before we forget. What beer are you drinking tonight?
I am drinking Four Hands Voltron Volume 6.
Ooh, the sixth one. Even though there's not six lions, what we
No,
got?
because originally it was supposed to be the 6 breweries were going to come back together and collaborate on one beer where they do it all together, but they didn't do that. Volume 6 is another hazy IPA where they worked with Weldworks Brewing. And it's got
where's Wellworks is what you said?
Weldworks. I think Colorado.
Okay.
But yeah, instead of having a specific line, it's got all of them on it.
Let me see it. Put it back up again. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I am drinking one that you wanted me to try.
Okay.
It looks like it's Deathstroke's mask on it, is how I describe it.
Yeah.
Almost. But it's not because there's some horns on there. Actually, it's with that one wrestler that wears a bull mask the whole time.
Yeah. I can't think of his name right now.
I can't think of his name either. From Three Floyds Brewing.
Yes.
It is. Was it Speed Castle? Is the name of this one? I think is what it's called. Speed Castle.
So.
5.6 ABV. Let me think here. It's a Pilsner. What did it say about it? It said something about a Pilsner on here. Yeah. World-ending Pilsner. Speed Castle World-ending Pilsner. I don't normally like a Pilsner. I hate Miller Lite. I am not a Miller Lite guy at all. But this Pilsner right here is not bad.
Yeah, it's one of my favorites of the style.
I don't know how to describe it. It's just not as bitter as a Miller Lite, I guess, is how I would describe it.
Yeah.
Or hoppy. Maybe it's hoppy. Maybe it's the word I'm looking for is hoppy, I guess. It's definitely more towards an IPA than a lager, per se. But it's not it's not so in your face.
Right.
It's more smooth than that. So I like it. It's pretty good. 3.5 pints, maybe 3.75. We'll say 3.75 pints.
I want to say I gave it something close to that too.
Mm-hmm. But on your Voltron one, what do you give that one? You didn't give a grade on that.
I would give this one probably a 4. It's not
4 out
the
of 5?
not the best of the series, but I enjoy it. 6.5% ABV.
Okay. Well, both of ours not beer world by any means. Nice
Yeah.
little sipping beer. That's all.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, well, there you go. As far as the nerd stuff, I think we haven't talked about anything in forever. Did you have any specific topics that you wanted to hit on, or we just want to do a whole bunch of homework since I'm sure you've watched and read a ton since we last talked? Or what do you want to do?
I've got a few things to hit on.
Okay.
So the guy that played Bullseye in Daredevil did an interview, and he said Born Again takes place 5 years after season 3.
Huh.
But people are questioning that because that would be in the middle of the blip.
Okay.
So I think what people are saying, it takes place after Echo, so whatever. I don't know how many years that would be after the show, but that would make sense because Daredevil showed up in that, and Daredevil showed up in She-Hulk.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's true. Trying to keep okay, sorry. The timeline matters so much, or matters very little to me about Born Again. I don't really care where it lands in the timeline of things. It's going to be cool that it's linked to the overall universe, right?
Yeah.
So we're going to be tied in there. That's always good. That's what makes Marvel really, really fun.
Yeah.
But I just care that it's going to be well done and it's going to be entertaining. It's going to be good.
Yeah. That's all I'm hoping for too.
Because I know we'd spoken about it, and I don't remember if you'd gone back and actually watched a few more episodes or finished it, or still in the middle of it, or didn't even start. I can't remember about Agatha.
Yep.
Did you actually go back, finish it, start it? Where are you at with that?
We have finished it. Trying to think. We sat down and binged it almost in a weekend.
Okay.
In fact, I watched it with Will, and we got through 7 of the 8 episodes. Mm-hmm. And then Madeline's like, "Well, I wanted to watch it too." And Aaron's like, "I guess I'll watch it." So they sat down and they watched the 7 episodes and got caught up to us, and then we finished it together.
Okay. So again, like a normal Marvel show, did it ramp up at some point? I'm guessing it gets better, because I hated it I tried. I gave it 2 shots. I did. I really did. And we went back, and even Jen's like, I'm out. This just isn't fun to me. This isn't fun. It's not entertaining. It's not funny. It's not making any sense. It's not going anywhere. We got to the part where all the witches came together.
Okay.
And they were going to what's like the road or whatever it's called, I guess.
Witches Road.
And that's and you could kind of see where things are going, where there's he's a guy that was with Agatha, I guess, at some point. I don't know what his name is. I can't remember it. But you could already kind of see the writing on the wall. You're not going to spoil it for me. I'm going to assume he turns into a bad guy. That's just the vibe I got from
the teenager?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. No? Okay. Well, I guess I need to get caught up, I guess, and maybe keep trying. I'm trying, Jay. I'm trying, but I think it's garbage.
But once they're on the road, it gets better.
Okay. All right. Maybe we just got to plow through. What is up with all these Disney shows? I get wanting to dive deeper into characters and not feel rushed to get through things, but doesn't mean you should make it crap. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And was it slow for you at all at any spot, or did you just enjoy it all the way through?
It was a little slow at the beginning, but I didn't mind it.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, it's just wasn't my thing, I guess.
Yeah.
But I just to be a completionist and try to keep it with the Marvel stuff because we get so few things. I guess I'll have to try to get back to it. But no, Born Again's going to be awesome once it actually ever happens. What's our target date? What do we have? A release date?
Spring.
Okay, spring 25.
Yeah.
Okay. And then, hey, I saw something about Skeleton Crew. Did Skeleton Crew come out, or is it just a special trailer thing that I saw on Disney Plus?
First episode came out this week. Our first 2 episodes, Monday.
Okay, they came out. And did you watch them yet?
I have not watched them yet.
Okay.
We just haven't had a chance. But apparently the reviews have been really good.
Okay. Good.
Like Rotten Tomatoes is like 96 for critics and 88 for audience.
Okay. Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Okay.
One of my buddies said it's kind of like Goonies in space.
Huh. Okay. Well, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I like that. I can get on board with that.
Yeah. I like Jude Law, so.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how it goes. It's just I don't know. What's our and then well, it's hitting at the right time, right? I mean, Star Wars and Christmas, so that's good.
So yeah, it'll take us into I think mid-January.
Okay. All right, and then hey, just to kind of stay on the Disney topic here, am I seeing where I know the big thing that came out for Disney? Well, I guess it's Disney. I don't even know if it is or not. Is Wicked Disney?
I don't know.
I'm reading something here where I guess it's part 1 and they're splitting the movie into 2.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Are you a Wicked fan? Is this something that you care about and will be going to see?
I have no problem seeing it, but I don't necessarily need to go to the theater for it, so I'll probably wait for it to be on streaming. But Aaron wants to see it. The girls want to see it.
Oh, yeah. There's nobody in my house that wants to see it. No one has any interest whatsoever to go see it.
So it's not Disney, it's Universal.
Universal, okay. Gotcha. Okay. And the other big nerd thing that came out, I don't know if you're into it or not. Have you tried out the Dune show yet?
Have not tried that yet.
Me neither, and I really wanted to. Just did not get around to it.
I will at some point. We're actually in like an episode or 2 into Penguin, so I want to finish that first.
Yep. Yeah, that's on my homework list here. I guess since you just mentioned it, we'll just talk.
Okay.
It's amazing. You're gonna love it as the more you get deeper into it.
Yeah.
It was captivating. Like I wanted to keep going. Like that's the thing that you're lucky is that you're able to binge. We binged until the very last episode, then we had to wait for the last one to come out. But it's so good, man. So damn good.
Yeah, but I heard Christina Milioti steals the show.
She, if I'm guessing for names I'm not familiar with, but is she the one that plays Falcone's daughter?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Does she steal the show? She's amazing in it. She's excellent. But still, I don't know, man. Colin Farrell, he's really good in this. He's really good.
So I think people expect him to be good, and they didn't necessarily know what to expect out of her. So I think that's probably why they say it.
Okay. But no, I mean, I have no problem with someone saying that she steals it. It's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
She's just really good in it. She's very, very good. You've already got your initial opinion on it. I will say this, that Jen and I go, do you think people from the show are going to get nominated for awards? And I go, I would hope they get nominated. I don't know if they'll win, but this is a damn good show. This is going back to you go, hey, HBO, remember how HBO used to be the thing for TV?
Yeah.
Yeah, this was up there. It really was. It was, I basically described it as Sopranos in the DC universe.
Yeah.
Kind of how it felt, a little bit. Just a gangster show, kind of like that. But that's an element of the Batman mythos that people just don't really understand, is that there's a reason why Gotham is the way it is. And a lot of it has to do with the organized crime.
Yeah.
And so I'm glad that they kind of hit on that.
And Matt Reeves has been good about that type of stuff because he is the one that really introduced the detective aspect to Batman too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
So I am curious though, because now the talk is they're going to continue making these bad guy series, and the Joker might be next.
With our Irish guy.
Yep, Barry Keoghan.
The role. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. We didn't. Do you want to introduce him in a TV show, or does he get introduced in the movie first, and then they'll do it after that?
I don't know, but something else I had down here was looks like it's not going to be until fall 2026 that we get the Batman 2.
Okay. Interesting.
So they might introduce him in the show first.
Okay. Well, that's an interesting way to go about it, I guess.
Yeah.
Just a little bit different. So, yeah, no, I hope, I would recommend, before you guys kind of move on to anything else, cannot recommend that show enough. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Let's see. I do have. I'm scrolling through some things here. Did you know that there was supposed to be a Jack Ryan movie,
Yeah.
but it's with Krasinski
Yep.
as Jack Ryan?
Yep.
I did not know about that.
So
I'm excited about that.
I think that's supposed to end his run with the character.
I don't know. The show. I mean, it's not like it didn't overstay its welcome, and
No.
it was still good. It didn't fall flat. I don't think. Where they left things off on the last one.
Yeah.
But I'm all for it. Is it going to be? I'm going to assume, is it just going to be like an Amazon released movie only, or is this like a, hey, they're going to try to do this in the movie theater?
What I think they'll probably try to do is put it in the movie theater and then throw it onto Amazon Prime like a month later.
Real quick, gotcha. And then let's see. We'll eventually get Stranger Things at some point.
Yep.
Don't know when, but at some point.
Yeah.
Let's see.
They'll be like 27.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Mando and Grogu finished filming.
Okay, that's cool.
I don't think that's supposed to be next year. I think that's early 26. It could be next December though.
I'm just kind of scrolling through some things here real quick just to get caught up. I'm so behind on like Deadpool Wolverine. Did you do a rewatch yet with it being on the streaming now?
I've not yet.
Yeah, neither. Jen did. She watched it, but I did not get a chance to. I mean, I came in at bits and parts that she was on, you know.
Yeah.
But I did not actually get to sit down and watch the whole thing.
Yeah, Will was doing that, and I caught little bits of it while he was watching it.
Let's see here. And I saw a story about something about Henry Cavill's Superman suit. I'm trying to find it, but I'm not really having any luck finding it. There's something about his Superman suit, like it got ruined, like it's like been destroyed or something like that.
Oh,
like,
no.
That's just disrespectful. That's just disrespectful, man.
Yeah.
Come on.
Well, did you see the thing I sent you that Joe Burrow was one of the people that bought the tumbler?
The Tumblr? Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, he did send that. I'm like, he's got a shit ton of money. Why not just throw it at whatever you want, right? So,
Yeah.
If you're going to buy something, that's not a bad one to buy.
Yeah, if I was in his situation, I probably would have done that too. Let's see. More in Star Wars. Simon Kinberg is doing a trilogy.
He's doing a trilogy for what again? I'm sorry?
Star Wars.
Simon Kinberg is.
Yes.
Of X-Men fame.
Of X-Men fame. But he also wrote and produced Rebels.
Yeah. I don't know. They're just throwing anything. I mean, they need to keep the Star Wars, money machine rolling, right?
Yeah.
So let's see what they can do, I guess, right?
Yeah, and apparently this is going to be a new saga, is what they're calling it, and it's not going to tie into the Skywalkers.
And that's what I meant. Yeah, as far as keeping the money machine rolling, they're going to be trying to do anything non-Skywalker related, and we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
But
I mean, there's still talk of the Daisy Ridley Ray movies.
Yeah. Kind of one of those things you'll believe it when you see it, kind of thing. I think. Yeah.
Very much so.
Too. Let me see here. We'll continue betting on sci-fi horror. Oh, Mithrigan. There's going to be a Mithrigan 2.0.
Yes.
Another Mithrigan movie. Oh, Lord. Yeah, Blumhouse is just... They keep... Blumhouse, I don't think they could do much wrong because horror movies is so cheap to make.
Oh, yeah.
They could have a quote-unquote flop, but it's still, at some point, will at least always make its money back, I think.
And, I mean, there's always an audience for them.
Mm-hmm, absolutely. I agree. So,
I mean, half the people that go into horror movies are hoping for a bad movie.
Oh, hey, and then there's going to be a spin-off movie from Mithrigan called Soulmate, spelled Soulm8te. So we've got the Soulmate movie coming out from Mithrigan.
Man.
Oh, boy. Come on, Blumhouse. Keep making the monies.
Yeah.
I love it. Because it says Blumhouse horror flop with a 22% Rotten Tomatoes score continues Netflix streaming success. So even though Rotten Tomatoes hates it, somehow, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but I see those articles popping up all the time where it's like, Ryan Reynolds' biggest flop is a hit on Netflix.
Yeah.
But Netflix doesn't really release like the numbers, so you don't know if that's true. And that's probably just someone with an AI article throwing it out there just to get clicks.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe. Oh,
Yeah.
let's see here. All right. Any other topics that you wanted to hit on?
A couple quick things. Where are you on the Absolute comics?
I am still. I have Superman 1.
Mm-hmm.
I read Batman.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. I really did. If I had a pull list, it would be on my pull list to just keep going with it.
Yeah.
I think you said that Wonder Woman's probably the best of the three that came out.
I enjoyed it when I read it, but I think the more I sat on it, it was probably my least favorite.
Oh,
so
maybe you said that was most popular as far as what you're hearing from the buzz on the interwebs and whatnot.
Yeah, I'd seen a lot of good on it, but I'm not. I wasn't. It was a definitely an interesting take. Okay. My issue going into Absolute though is I didn't read the All In special, where it explains how the universe was set up.
Okay. So what's hey, this is just the ultimate version of the DC universe. They're just doing the ultimate Marvel. You know how Ultimate Comics they did that with Marvel. This is just DC doing the same thing.
No,
you don't agree? Okay.
No. So basically, the All In thing had Darkseid capture and take over the powers of the Spectre. Mm-hmm. And he discovered that no matter what he did, heroes were always going to prevail. And so he went and created his own universe, taking away the privilege that these characters have. Mm-hmm. So Batman doesn't have the wealth he has.
Yep. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
Superman wasn't raised by the Kents. And the Amazons were essentially decimated when Wonder Woman was little. So knowing all that after I read Batman, my opinion of Batman changed.
Okay.
Did you say, I forgot, did you say you read it?
I read Batman, but not Superman. Okay. I've not read. I have it, but I haven't read it yet. So
I was really thrown off. Like when he went in, he was playing poker with Edward Nygma and Harvey Dent and Killer Croc, and I'm like, well, what's going on? And I was like, he doesn't have the wealth. His mom's still alive. I'm like, I was thinking it was supposed to be like the Ultimates, where it's like a modern retelling. And I'm like, this is not a modern retelling. This is a totally different story, and I don't know if I care for it.
Yeah, it's definitely an Elseworlds.
Yeah.
So, but it's just one of those things. What else are you gonna do? After 80, more than 80 years of writing these characters, you got to try something to keep them fresh, right?
Oh yeah.
So, and I don't have a problem with them, rolling the dice on this.
Yeah.
And I don't know how, as far as the Absolute Universe, what's the time frame? Is this a 5-year project? Is this hey, we're going to run 12 issues out on each of them, see how sales are, and kind of regroup after the fact? I would think that's kind of what DC is going to do. Give them at least 12 issues, see what happens from there. Because I think that's one thing that DC does well is that once they know a project's just not selling, boom, they'll just cut it, and they have no problems doing so.
Yeah. So I think there's going to be some kind of crossover with the main DC universe in this. Because when Darkseid created the universe, Booster Gold went to it to investigate and got cut off from the regular DC Prime, I guess. Mm-hmm. So Booster Gold is out there in that universe someplace, in the Absolute universe.
Okay.
So I know they're going to come and try to rescue him, and it's going to be a big crossover.
Okay. I will just, once it hits the library, you know what I mean? I'll read it. Why not? Right. Yeah. So I have no issue with it. It's an interesting concept. I know Mark Waid was involved with the All In part of it, with the Absolute beginning of it. What is he writing? One of the ongoings? I don't know which ones he's doing.
No, he's focusing more on the DC Prime stuff, and he's doing the relaunch of Justice League.
Oh, okay. Cool.
I picked up 1 and 2 of Batman, and I just got issue 2 of Superman today.
Okay. Oh, of the Absolute?
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
So I haven't finished the Superman yet. So, but I'm enjoying them all. I read the Wonder Woman on the app. I probably won't pick it up, I'll probably just pick up Superman for the first arc and then decide from there.
Nothing. I don't find. What else you gonna do?
Yeah.
Just to try something different. So.
Yep.
Yeah. No.
So to compare it to the new Ultimate universe, I'm enjoying 3/4 of the new Ultimate stuff, and it's a fresh take too.
Refresh my memory, because I have a bunch of the Spider-Man books. I just haven't read them yet.
Yeah.
I collected them just so I could have them.
Yeah.
So that I'm ready to read it. So I know Spider-Man was met with, acclaim. People seem to all really like that. And then I know Black Panther was one of the books.
Yeah.
And you said that you enjoyed that one.
Yes, I've liked that one a lot.
Okay.
X-Men is growing on me, but it's so different than what I expected. It's taken a while to get used to it. It's written and drawn by Peach Mononoke, who is I
remember you saying that. Yeah,
she's an anime person.
It's manga.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I'm not a big fan of that style as far as my comics, but as long as the story is decent, I guess.
And so basically the gist of this universe is the maker left 616 and created his own universe based off the Ultimate Universe. And knowing what he knew, he was able to eliminate the people that were going to be the biggest threat to him. So Peter Parker never got bit by the spider. As the timeline was being created, he went and he took the spider.
Okay.
Captain America was never found. And so the maker made this world into what he wanted. And so like each continent is ruled by a family. And so like the Hulk rules one of them. The Rasputin family runs like Russia, part of Asia, and Europe. So like Colossus, Magic, and Mikhail, their brother. Khonshu and Ra are in charge of Africa. And when it started out, Howard Stark and Obadiah Stane were over North America. But
is there something that ties all this? What's the book that ties all this together?
It was, oh God, what was the name of it? Hickman did it.
Okay.
It was a 4-issue miniseries that set up everything.
Okay. And
so basically at the end of it, Tony Stark learns of it. Howard and Obadiah are killed. They knock the maker out of time, so they have a year, 18 months to try to set things right before he comes back. And so he gets like the spider and he gives it to a middle-aged Peter Parker who's married to Mary Jane and has 2 kids. And because the spider never bit him, Uncle Ben is still around.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Okay.
And then like Black Panther, I mean, he's still the ruler of Wakanda, but he's working with Killmonger and Storm to try to stop Ra and Khonshu.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the Ultimates is Tony Stark building his team to try to be ready for when the Maker comes back.
This all sounds like if I had the app, this would be the way to go with it.
Definitely.
Except that's the one thing I hate, because even if you pay for a high, like there's only one level of the app, and you still have to wait 6 months or
3 months.
Do they have a higher version that you could pay for more and you can get like how much sooner?
No, they only have the one level, and it's a 3-month wait.
Oh, 3 months.
Yeah.
Sorry. 3 months.
So the DC app is the one that's 6 months, or you can pay for the Ultra version where everything is 1 month.
See, that's the way to do it. Come on, Marvel. What are you doing?
I know. And
what are you doing?
I switched to yearly memberships for both of them, and they send you stuff. So when my DC renewed this year, I got a copy of is it The Batman Who Laughs?
Okay, yeah.
But it's a special only for people that have the subscription.
Ah, okay.
And then so when I switched to Marvel, we got a box, and it had a Wolverine, a limited edition Wolverine comic, an action figure, a patch, pin, and then like a lithograph. And that was great because the Wolverine from the animated series where he's looking at the picture of Jean. Well, they made it with Deadpool looking at a picture of Wolverine. So we're going to frame that and hang it in the basement.
Of course, as you should.
Yes.
Well-known meme, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Very cool. Very, very cool. All right. So, let's do this. Let's flip on over to homework.
Okay.
Because how much do you have? Do you have a ton?
I've got more reading than watching. We haven't watched a whole lot of stuff.
Okay. Let's go.
Okay.
Run down your reading. Is it more books or more comics?
One book and mostly comics.
Oh, wow. Look at you. Okay. What book did you read?
Interior Chinatown. It's a series that just came out on Amazon Prime, I think, with Jimmy O. Yang.
Okay.
It looked really interesting, kind of action comedy type thing. And I saw it was a book, so I decided to get it. The book was okay. I was really thrown off when I started reading it because it's all in the style of a movie script. Oh,
okay. That's different.
But it's telling the narrative. And so it's like the internal monologue of the characters and stuff. It was impressive from that standpoint. Just the story itself didn't land for me. Okay. And when I went back and read reviews of it, people were really mixed on it. They either really loved it or really hated it. And a lot of Asian people really connected with it because it told the struggle of like the previous generation coming to America and the discrimination they felt. So maybe I wasn't the target audience for it, so it didn't connect with me the same way.
Okay.
So give it, I think I gave it like 3 out of 5 stars.
Did you actually finish it?
Or yeah, I did.
You get to a point where okay. Yeah.
It got to be a chore, but yeah, I finished it.
Okay. I hate books like that. Yeah. That's the worst.
And it was one of those things like, I'm over halfway through it, I just want to get it finished.
Yeah.
But being in script style, it actually read pretty quick.
Okay.
All right. I picked up a cheap copy of Batman Son of the Demon.
I think I have that.
Do you?
I think so. I'm pretty sure I do. Because I'm almost positive I do. Hold, please.
Okay.
I just want to double check myself. Yes, Son of the Demon. Yeah. Bar, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Bar and Bingham on there.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because it tells the story of Bruce and Talia.
Yes.
Okay. Yep.
And it was originally like the non-canon conception of Damien, and then they went back and said, no, that is canon. So
it's dated.
Yeah.
It wasn't the best read, but at least you get to see the story. I mean, in the overall universe of Batman, it is an important story.
Yeah, and I mean, it's a late 80s, early 90s comic that it's very narrative driven.
Yeah.
So, but I knew that going in, so...
Which anything you pick up prior to about 2000, that's going to be the way it is, I think. So you just have to kind of force your way through it.
Yep. Next, I read The Atonement Bell. It's a trade I actually gave you a few weeks ago.
Is that the one that's the local creators?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah,
and
I've not gotten to it yet.
It's a horror book set in St. Louis.
Red 5 Comics?
Yeah.
By Jim Owsley and Tyler Ruff?
Yeah.
Or Tyler Ruff, sorry.
Yeah, I know Jim. Back when I was doing the PC Bombcast with them, he came on the show and we talked to him about it while he was making it.
What's that last name? Is he married?
Yeah.
What's his wife's name? Do you happen to know?
I don't know off the top of my head.
Curious. Because that's... I see her name right here on their website. That's not her.
Okay.
Never mind. Disregard. I work with someone with that last name. It's a pretty unique last name that you don't see a lot. So I was curious if that was his wife that I work with, but no, it's not. So disregard. So let me see. The thrills and chills amid family drama for the fans of Haunting of Hill House or Stephen King. A family struggles with its dark history while being haunted by a strange cult. And it's the book takes place in St. Louis.
Yeah, like
that's awesome.
North County.
What?
Yeah.
Bruh, I'm gonna read that book real soon.
Yeah.
I know that place. I know it.
It was real interesting too when we talked to him about it before it was being made. The artist on it was actually from Brazil, and so he was sending him pictures of like St. Louis architecture and stuff to get the right feel, and it just didn't work out. So he ended up going with Tyler Ruff, who's a local artist that he knew. And I think it ended up better because he knew exactly.
He was familiar with the area a little better. Gotcha. Okay.
So
Cool.
Jim said he would be willing to come on our podcast at some point.
Okay.
So he's a fun guy.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. Then I read the original Wolverine miniseries by Chris Claremont and Frank Miller.
Okay.
I have the books. I never read them, so I checked it out from the library to read their copy and leave mine bagged and boarded.
Without having to open it up, yeah.
Yep.
So, again, going to be very heavy on the writing.
Yes. Which, I mean, Chris Claremont was known for anyway.
Correct, yeah.
But this one held up pretty well. I'm glad I finally sat down and read it. A lot of ninja stuff in it. It's all pretty much all set in Japan. A little bit of the X-Men in it.
So, but it's still it plants the seeds for everything.
Oh
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. See. Yeah.
Yeah, it does all the stuff with Mariko and introduces Yukio and all the characters that end up coming back later on.
Okay.
And then I read What's the Furthest Place from Here? It's by the creative team of Four Kids Walk Into a Bank.
Oh, okay.
So that kind of sold me on it right away.
Furthest place from here?
What's the furthest place from here? It's a post-apocalyptic future where kids are on their own.
These guys like to write about kids, dude.
Yeah. So it's
a coming of age story from the Four Kids Walking Away with Tyler. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So, I like the art, obviously.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It was
were you
not
able to
as
get this from the library?
Yeah. There's 3 volumes of it. I think I read it digitally on our library's app. It was okay. It wasn't as good as Four Kids Walk Into a Bank. There were points that seemed like it dragged a little bit, and some of it that was a little predictable. And then it just kind of ended. It didn't feel like it had a real ending.
Yeah, I have the 3 digital volumes as well.
Yeah.
So not worth it though?
Yeah. I know you like post-apocalyptic stuff, so you might like it.
I do. I like it a lot. So okay, I'll have to give it a shot.
Yeah.
We'll see.
And then the next one was a image book called Local Man by Tim Seeley.
Local Man. And Tim Seeley's hit and miss to me.
Yes. This one was hit.
Is it a horror comic of any kind?
It's kind of like a tribute comic to those 90s image books. And it references a lot of those characters. And there were a lot of times where I was like, oh my God, I forgot that they even made a book about this character. Basically what it is this disgraced superhero has to go to his hometown, like small town Iowa, where he gets pulled into like a conspiracy and he starts investigating it. It was a lot of fun. I think there's only like 4 trades of it, so I'm gonna keep going with it. It might be something I pick up depending on what I think of the second and third trades.
Rural crime noir, which I like.
Yeah.
Jack Xavier, a star recruit of the media sensation Super Team 3rd Gen, had it all. But when controversy sends Cross Jack crawling back to his mom and dad's basement in the Midwest, Jack struggles to fit into a world that he left far behind. And then the bodies start piling up. See, now 3rd Gen, that was an image book?
No, it was created for this book.
Okay.
But like,
what's 3rd Gen? Or what's the Gen book? I'm thinking Gen 13.
Yeah, Gen 13.
Okay.
Which I don't think they could necessarily reference because that's a Wildstorm property, which is DC now.
Oops, I meant Gen 13 is what I meant. Of course, I put in Gen. I mistyped it. It's like Genesis. I was like, no, not the book of Genesis.
So it was entertaining. I really liked it. So.
Okay. Yeah, I'm seeing I'm not seeing 4 volumes though. I am seeing 3, but that doesn't mean there isn't a 4th volume. My library just might not have volume 4, so I cannot confirm or deny if there's a 4th volume.
I don't know if the trade of it's out yet. The series just ended.
Oh, okay, maybe that's why.
Yeah,
gotcha.
And it ended really weird, where nobody knew it was ending, and it went from like issue 15 or 16 to like 26.
Huh.
And it ended with a time jump.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, just real quick
to
go a little bit off topic because I don't know why it just came to mind though. What about Jeff Johns' imprint? I guess it's over to Image, right? Where it was that one Ghost something or other.
Ghost Machine, I think.
Yeah. How is all that going? Is anyone reading it? Is it surviving, or did it get canceled, or what's going on there?
No, all those books are coming out.
Okay.
So when they announced it, I went back and got the trade of Geiger, his his original series. I wasn't impressed with it. When they had the special come out, I went ahead and picked it up. I read all of them. The only one I really liked was Rook Exodus, about the animal masks. I don't know if you read the special that came out.
I don't remember it.
Okay.
If I did, I don't remember it.
So they have
I'm seeing Geiger, but it's from 2024. So I guess that's the re-release of it.
Yeah, that's the newer series when they.
Yeah, I've seen a zebra on the cover of this one.
Yeah. So Rook Exodus, dystopian future. They're living on a different planet because Earth got ruined. But this planet, everyone's being evacuated, and they have wardens that have masks that can channel the animals related to the mask. And so the point of view character is Rook, who he communicates with birds and can control them. I got the first 3 issues. I wasn't crazy about it, so I dropped it.
See, yeah. Then I see Ghost Machine Volume 1. All these, they're available on digital format at the library. I just don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know if I get around to it or not.
Yeah.
I mean, Ghost Machine, the art looks cool.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't know. Rook Access, the art looks... I mean, all the art always looks amazing, but who knows? There's no story there, though. It's not worth it, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry I interrupted.
No, that's all right.
What you got next?
I did a reread of Kingdom Come.
Oh, okay.
As good as ever.
Yeah.
So I went ahead and
Classic.
picked up
a shelf book no matter what.
Oh yeah, I picked up the trade of it. I've got the actual issues, but I wanted a reader copy, so I got the trades. I don't know if I'll hang on to the actual issues. If there were something, I might throw them on eBay. But I told Will he needs to read that one.
Oh, for sure. I mean, you have to.
Yeah.
I mean, that's DC Essentials.
Yeah. I started reading the Ascender series. It's Jeff Lemire. It's a follow-up to Descender.
See, I'm familiar with it, but I have not read it.
Okay. So Descender was about the robot-human war after these giant robots came out of nowhere and wiped down a lot of humanity. This is set, I don't know, 7 years, somewhere in there after it. And it's the main character from Descender raising his daughter when his robot dog came back to him.
So, okay, I'm seeing a Descender compendium.
Yeah.
That's what I see here. I'm trying to see how many volumes it was. By the way, he also wrote a book called Little Monsters. Don't know if you know that.
Yes, it's so good.
It's good?
Yeah.
Okay. Descender, how many issues? It was a compendium.
It was 6 trades.
Okay.
And then
I assume the compendium covers the whole series would be my thought.
I would think so.
So then I do see Ascender Volume 1.
Yep.
How many volumes of Ascender should there be?
There are 4, which I did not know at the time. I had 1 through 3.
I am seeing Volume 1. I see Volume 4. I have Volume 1 and Volume 4 available to me. I am looking to see if there's any more Ascender in here. No, I think I can read the beginning of it. Then I can read the very end.
Yeah.
I can read. Jesus. That's hilarious.
I did.
Sorry, go ahead. Yeah. I apologize. I'm just making fun of my library for doing something stupid like that.
Yeah, a publicly funded organization like doing something dumb.
I got it. I found it.
Did you?
Some are ebook, some are regular book.
Gotcha.
I can do this. I can mix and match.
All right. I've enjoyed it so far. I was able to pick up Volume 4, so I will probably knock that out before we record again.
So Descender first, then Ascender after that.
Yes.
Okay. Interesting. It kind of reminds me of what was it Irredeemable, and then what's the one that Wade did after Irredeemable?
Incorruptible. Yeah.
That's kind of what that reminds me of. But sorry. Yeah.
Oh, it's all right. Next one was a book called RASL. RASL.
We talked about that. I thought
it's from the guy that created Bone.
Jeff Smith. Yeah. This was published back in 2013. RASL. No, maybe I'm thinking of something different then. No, this is
Yeah.
definitely not it. So when RASL, a thief and ex-military engineer, discovers the lost journals of Nikola Tesla, he bridges the gap between modern physics and history's most notorious scientists. But this breakthrough comes at a price, and the twisting tale of vengeance, intrigue, and betrayal. RASL finds himself in possession of humankind's greatest and most dangerous secret. Interesting.
Yeah. It was.
How do you like the artwork?
It's very simple.
Okay.
He does the artwork just like he did in Bone. It worked better for Bone with the cartoon type characters, but it didn't distract too much from the book. I enjoyed it. I probably gave it a 4 out of 5. I liked Bone a lot better, but this had some interesting concepts to it.
Okay. Yeah, no, it's interesting. I mean, the concept itself is interesting.
Yeah. It was a little hard to follow at times. There was a lot of multiverse stuff in it too. So I liked that, but it was still confusing.
I'm asking myself in my head right now, is it bad to just basically just do a Jeff Lemire binge and just try to get through as much? But he has so much.
He does.
You know what I mean?
Then my next
so much. But would you get sick of it if you focus too much on him at one time?
I don't think so, because he does so much different stuff.
Yeah.
Like he bounces all over the place.
Yeah.
Like the next one on my list is Cosmic Detective that he wrote with Matt Kent.
Which I'm a fan of both of them. So.
Yeah. It's about, this one might be a little weird for you. It was about a detective investigating a death of a superpowered being. And it gets really weird.
I need to start going. Let's see. I'm trying to write down some of these. But what was the one that was apocalyptic? Was that
what's the furthest place from here? Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Got that one written down. Okay. I'm getting to Ascender Descender. Of course, Royal City's on there, and I still need to read that one.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah. Well, all this stuff is freaking good.
Yeah.
So, Rook Exodus, worth my time? Give it a shot.
Yeah, maybe get the first volume and read it and see what you think.
Okay.
So
go ahead. Sorry.
Okay.
I cut you off.
Oh, no, it's all right. I read all of Absolute Power.
Okay. Just trying to remember. Okay, absolutely. That's that's lead-in book, right?
The lead into All In.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was good. I would have been frustrated if I wouldn't have read the whole thing on the app, because there was so much of the story that was told in the side books that you would have been lost just reading the 4 main issues.
See, and I can't. That's not even going to be available until 2025, I think.
Yeah, and unless they put something like a compendium together that has all the tie-in issues, it's going to be impossible for you to read from the library.
It is? Okay. So It's one of those, you have to have the app in order to really get... Here's my question. Does the app do a good enough job where if you start Absolute Power, will it take you in order to everything you need to read?
There was a reading order, but I didn't follow it. I went, like Den of Geeks, I think. I used their reading order.
Okay.
I don't think it would have made
Absolute
much of a
Power
difference.
takes you to All In.
Yeah.
And then All In is that our follow-up to...
That's just the newest company-wide reboot.
I mean, yeah, you know what I'm talking about, right? Because we had... Oh, God.
Well, last year was Dawn of DC.
Dawn of DC, thank you. And what was the one before that? What was that?
That was Rebirth. Rebirth went for quite a while.
We had Rebirth, and Dawn of DC. Absolute Power is your lead-in into All In, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, no. Is Absolute Power part of the Absolute universe as well?
Well, the Absolute universe comes out of it too.
Okay, so it spins out 2 different. It basically does the. I don't want to say a relaunch, but it's the. Well, is it? I mean, because that's kind of what Dawn of DC and Rebirth were. That's basically saying we're doing a reset here. These are that reset jumping on point.
Jumping on point, yes.
Yeah.
So
Absolute Power, it's the jumping on point for the 2 new universes. Well, the existing universe, and then as far as Prime, we'll call it DC Prime.
Yeah.
Versus Absolute or the Absolute universe.
So Absolute Power closed off the multiverse as we knew it. And then the All-In Special created the Absolute Universe. So there's only the two.
Okay. So they destroyed the multiverse?
They didn't destroy it. They just were cut off from it.
Okay, gotcha. All right, I'll have to.
Yeah,
I'll get there at some point.
Yeah.
But you read the main book, the Absolute Power book.
No, I read all 37 issues that tied into it.
Oh my God!
I know.
Look at you go! Wow, you've been powering through.
That's the nice thing about the app is I can each week. Oh, here are the ones that came out. Okay, I can knock them out. There's 5 issues this week. That's not horrible.
Oh no, that's not too bad actually. Yeah. That's just a trade. That's all it is.
So, and then the last thing I have for reading was I've been reading the From the Ashes X-Men stuff.
Jesus. Every time I want to, there's just so much to read. There's so much to watch. There's so much to do. There's not enough time in the day.
Well, I'm going to tell you, this stuff seems like such a letdown after
the amazing thing that was Power of X and all that stuff.
Yeah, after the whole Krakoa era.
Krakoa, yeah.
Because
did you ever put together your reading order for all that?
No, I haven't finished it.
Okay. Well, but you're doing it by single issue, aren't you?
I was going to do 2 of them. One of them by single issue, and then one like the best way to read in trades. Right, yeah. But Marvel's done something different with this, where they have 2 sets of trades. They have the individual books, and then they have like the order they were released. So you can get whatever the first segment of the Krakoa era was. Mm-hmm. They have books of that, and so it's like X-Men 1, Excalibur 1, X-Force 1, all in one book. And so you can read.
What's the better way to read it?
A mixture of the two. Because there are some things that cross over, and there's some things that don't. I know.
I hate that. That's something they editorial really needs to make it more easily accessible.
Oh yeah.
It's already too hard as it is with all the material that's out there.
Yeah.
They really do. That's an editorial issue in my opinion, but that's a whole other discussion, I guess.
So, but going back to From the Ashes, the Krakoa era was such a radical change from everything we've had in the X-Men universe. Now going and reading this stuff, it just feels like the retreading on what they've already done before it.
Yeah. Well, who's doing that work?
There's a bunch of different people. Like Jed McKay is writing. Well,
because I guess like here, like the Krakoa era, because that includes House of X Fault and all that stuff, right? Powers of X.
Yeah, and that started with Hickman.
So Hickman was your architect. Right. What I want to say to that. So who's your architect for this new iteration? I guess
there's not one. It's back like how it used to be, where.
And that's the problem.
Yeah.
I think that's your problem right there. Is you don't have one main focus. Saying here's our main focus book. Hickman he's got big sweeping ideas. He's going to write his main ideas out of this. But then for our supporting books, whether it be like Excalibur, name a X book that's not what's our main book in the Krakoa? Like what's your main X-Men book in that? Is it Uncanny or is it just X-Men?
Just X-Men. They didn't have an Uncanny during that time.
They didn't have Uncanny. Okay. But you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You have your main book. And then you have your supporting books. Like, for example, you got Batman, all right? But Detective, well, I don't know. I guess you could debate which one's the main. I call Batman your main book. Then you got Batman, and then you have the Bat Family supporting books, and they all tie into the main one, right?
Yep.
They don't. It feels like you're saying that they don't have that for this Fall of Ashes or whatever it's called. I can't remember. Sorry.
From the Ashes.
Okay. They don't have an architect that has the big idea, is what it sounds like, and then the supporting books. There's no main book that are supported by other books. It's all just everyone doing their own thing.
Yeah, for the most point. I mean, there's some common threads that they're tying together, and like X-Men and Uncanny X-Men are about to have a crossover.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know. That sounds disappointing. Sounds like something I could easily skip and be okay with that.
Yeah, I mean, they're not necessarily bad stories. It's just it doesn't feel like the stakes are where they should be after what we've gone through.
Yeah. Okay.
So then, all right, run through movies real quick. I watched Twisters.
I wanted to hit play on it, but I I kept rattling my brain. And I go, I had to have seen Twister. But I'm thinking back, and I'm like, I don't know if I've seen Twister. I don't remember if I've seen the first one, and it's not on streaming anywhere.
Yeah, it wouldn't have made much of a difference if you've seen it or not. There's nothing ties them together.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah.
so there's just two completely individual movies, and there's no like Helen Hunt doesn't make an appearance at all.
Nope.
Wow.
And
big strike on them.
Well, yeah. That was something Mark Bernardin brought up on Fat Man on Batman. He said they had Mara Tierney play the main character's mom. They very easily could have been like, oh, that's Helen Hunt. Bring her back in for that role. It would have made total sense. It would have tied both the movies together. Would have gotten the people that like the original to come to the new one.
But they just didn't.
They didn't.
And so,
no.
Still, regardless of not being tied together, I guess, what's your opinion? Still an okay action flick, popcorn movie, or not good at all?
Somewhere in the middle.
In the middle, no. Just a movie. Okay.
Yeah, it was just a movie.
Gotcha. But there's plenty of those.
Yeah. Watched the 4:30 movie.
How'd you get access to it? Library?
No, you can buy it.
Okay.
I think we paid.
Did you buy a digital version, or did you get an actual hard copy?
Digital.
Okay.
I think
Let's see if there's actually I want to see if there's a hard copy to it. I think I have all of his stuff on hard copy, so I might as well keep it going.
Yeah. I'm sure they will at some point.
Is he still struggling making decent movies, or is this one of these okay?
No, I was reading about some of his stuff today, and people talked about how once he started smoking weed, everything just got weird. And now that he's back off of it, like, there's a lot of charm in this movie.
Okay. Which all his movies have charm in a certain way.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, take Clerks 2.
Yeah.
Probably the most, one of his most grotesque comedies at that point, right? Because of the donkey stuff, right?
No, yeah.
But still has one of the most touching scenes ever in the jail scene.
Yeah.
That's Kevin Smith.
Yeah.
He'll try to get you to completely laugh with the obscene and absurd, but he's also but still that's the fun stuff to the movie, but that's not what is the base of the pyramid, basically.
Right.
That's not really what it's built on. His movies aren't built on that. The movie is built on friendship and love and caring and stuff like that.
Yep.
I get it. Yeah. So this is so the 4:30 movie is the return to more traditional Kevin Smith.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Although he's still talking about Tusk too.
Well, I mean, one for them, one for me.
Yeah.
Something like that, right? Isn't that what it used to be called?
Yep.
Although usually it's for him, it's one for me, one for me.
Well,
that's really what it is. But okay. But yeah, no, I'll need to add to the collection. So out of 5 stars, what would you give 4:30 movie?
Probably 3.5.
Okay, that's still solid.
Yeah,
it's a decent movie, and it's a short. It looks like a 90-minute movie is what we're seeing here. Okay, so not a long watch or anything like that.
Yeah. Rewatched Interstellar.
Oh God, just masterpiece.
Yeah, still holds up.
I love that movie. Oh, of course, I love that movie. Oh,
yeah.
The music's amazing too. McConaughey.
Oh yeah,
prime McConaughey. Oh, I love it.
Yeah. Then we watched The Punisher, the Thomas Jane one.
Not as bad as everyone wants to say it is.
No. Not a good movie, but not like the horrible movie that everyone makes it out to be.
No, it's not. And Travolta being Travolta. But Thomas Jane, he's a decent actor.
Yeah, he is.
And what is it? I don't want to call it a guilty pleasure, but I don't mind watching it.
No.
I just don't. I think it's decent enough.
And as much as I didn't like Kevin Nash as the Russian, that was still a whole fun scene for that whole thing.
It was fun. It was. It really. And plus what's the fat guy's name? I don't remember what his name is on the movie, but he was really funny too. I like him.
Yeah, he was.
So, yeah.
I mean, all of them.
Ben Foster.
I know.
Little bit role there.
Yeah.
So,
So, and then we followed it up with the Dirty Laundry short that Thomas Jane made.
Right. Nice.
Yeah.
That had potential.
It did.
It really did.
Yeah.
Didn't go anywhere.
Yeah. Maybe in Secret Wars we'll see him again.
We'll see.
And then the last one, I blame my wife for this. She had me watch The Merry Gentleman on Netflix. It is a Netflix Christmas movie. Kind of Hallmark style.
Movie,
what?
Hallmark Christmas movie?
Almost.
Almost. Okay, gotcha.
The girl is like a Rockette type dancer who gets fired and has to go home for Christmas.
Okay.
And when she's there, her parents, Michael Gross is her dad.
Oh, Mr. Keaton.
Yes.
Nice.
She finds out their bar is failing and they have 30 days to raise money.
Mm-hmm.
So she tells the person they owe the money to that they've got a male review that's going to be happening every night, and she recruits some local guys to dance.
Kind of like Full Monty.
Kind of. But it was not good.
I'm not going to lie. That sounds awful. The concept itself just sounds awful.
We got done with it, and she's like, I'm sorry.
Now, I will say, I have seen while scrolling through Netflix, just looking for stuff, there is a movie called The Hot Snowman. This is where we are in the world, Jay. We can't get money for anything. We struggle with life, and yet the movie's called The Hot Snowman.
Yeah.
I think that's what it's called.
Yeah.
It's out on there. It's out in the world.
Netflix will cancel a very good series, but then make that.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, Netflix just dumb.
Yeah.
All
right. Okay. So that's all my stuff.
That's you? Okay.
Yeah.
Nice, strong ending there, sir.
Yes.
You went for 4:30 movie. You should have probably just stopped there.
Probably.
That's not good. All right, let me roll down here. So we already talked about the Penguin, so I don't need to hit on that. I finally got around to watching Hidden Figures.
Okay.
What a great movie.
It is. It's really good.
And you know who almost steals that show? Is yet again one of my favorite actors, and I don't know why people don't like him more, is Kevin Costner.
Yeah.
God, that guy's good. He's just good.
Especially late in his career where he's like selective on the roles he's taken. Like absolutely. I liked him in Draft Day a lot.
I love Draft Day. Oh, come on, dude. You know how much I love Draft Day.
Yeah.
That's one of my movies, man. But I've clicked play on Horizon, but then I was watching it, and all of a sudden I saw Indian speaking in subtitle, and I was like, wait, I got to pay attention. I couldn't at that time. So.
Yeah.
Still want to give it a shot, even though everyone's saying it's a flop. But I gotta give it a shot.
And I don't know if I'll ever get to it because who knows if the second one's ever going to come out.
And that's the thing that's going to suck. If I spend the 3 hours watching this and then it doesn't get a conclusion, it's going to be really sucky. But
yep.
we'll see. Then I flipped over to Blood Simple. It is one of the first. It's not. I don't believe it's the first, but it's one of the very early Coen brother movies.
Yeah.
And man, is it bad. I did not like it at all. I could not get into it. I didn't like it. The story was kind of stupid.
Yeah.
It just wasn't good. And I go, man, I'm so glad the Coen brothers still got to stick around and make good movies after the fact. Because this one I just didn't get.
Yeah.
I'm guessing it's a popular book, though. I think it was a big book back in the day. But this one I just couldn't get into at all. So hard pass on that one.
Okay.
I just watched a comedy called Incoming. I had it written down on my list, and I had to go re-look it back up just to remember which one this was. It's on Netflix. It had according to the trailer, it gave me like Superbad and Project X vibes because it kind of centered around. It's supposed to be a teen comedy, or focused around a party and kids. It's about incoming freshmen.
Okay.
And they're preparing themselves like basically for the big party to try to who am I going to be kind of thing in high school kind of. And I had I was like, it's Netflix, it's a comedy. The trailer looked like okay enough, and it had Caitlin Olsen from Always Sunny. In it, and I was like, I think the writers were involved with Always Sunny. I was like, well, if they're from Always Sunny, maybe this would be pretty funny. Man, what a letdown. Bomb. Awful. Didn't like it. Not good. Not going to recommend it. Just not good. I will give you this. It got a 5.8 on IMDb and a 25% on Rotten Tomatoes. And I go, yeah, I kind of agree with that one. They hit the nail on the head on that review.
That one tracks.
Yeah. Next one up is Fundamentals of Caring. And this one is one of my more favorite ones I've watched in a while. This had Paul Rudd, and I believe it was Netflix. Maybe it was Peacock. I can't remember. Give me 1 second. I'll try to tell you. Synopsis of this one is he's an out-of-work writer, and he just needs a job. So he gets a job as a caretaker for a 17 or 18-year-old kid that has a rare disease, wheelchair bound is what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
And they go on a road trip. And going on the road trip's a big deal because he has so many medical needs that basically going on a road trip could kill him, kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where what's the point of living life if you're just going to live it not living? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So Paul Rudd's incredible in it. It has touching moments. It's a I call this, I'm going to start calling these my Matt Damon movies. And the reason why I want to call that the Matt Damon movie, because he had that big speech that you've probably seen online at one point or not about, how he would say that his God, Jay, what's the freaking name? I'm just drawing a blank right now, trying to summarize all this. What's the movie? With Robin Williams in it. Come on, dude.
Oh, Good Will Hunting.
Thank you. Good Will Hunting 2, Hunting Day.
Hunting season.
Hunting season. Sorry. Basically, that movie would not get made anymore.
Yeah.
It's just a movie that will never get made in this day and age. And this is that movie. That's why it would live on Netflix. It would never go out to the theaters. But movies like that, I think, are still important. I still think there's an audience for it, and I still think there is not meaning, but worth. There's worth to those movies.
Yeah.
Maybe not monetarily, but as an art form, movies like this are still important.
Oh yeah.
I believe that. After that, I watched the Woman of the Hour movie. Anna Kendrick, actually, I think she directed it too. I don't know if I want to double check on that. It was about the true story of the serial killer that wound up on the dating show.
Okay.
Recommend it. It was actually a pretty good thriller movie.
Okay.
All the performances are really good, but based on a true story, and the guy that plays the serial killer did a fantastic job.
Okay.
He was really good in it. So I recommend that one. So had a couple of bombs there. I mean, I started strong with Hidden Figures, had a couple bombs in a row, kind of rebounded there with Fundamentals of Caring. Woman of the Hour kind of carried it on. And then watched another one I wasn't expecting to be very good, but man, that's the best when you go in with low expectations and the movie actually turns out to be pretty darn fun.
Yeah.
And that one was Alien Romulus.
Okay.
That one is on Hulu, of course, just part of the Alien franchise. And after watching that movie, it did two things for me. One, it was just fun, good action. This is what an Alien movie should be. Man, just fun. I liked it a lot in that sense. Don't know if I would have paid money at the theater to watch it, but sure glad to watch it on streaming.
Yeah.
So I'll give it that grade. And then the other part to it has made me extremely sad. And the reason why it made me extremely sad is that the main actress in the film should have been Ellie in Last of Us.
Yeah.
That's who the role is. I don't know if you've seen the pictures of her compared to the video game, kind of doing the side-by-side of her, where she kind of posted on social media. But just now, after watching this movie and the type of role she was in, the look of her, just her aura, just her being of who she is as an actress in this movie, it could have translated so easily over, and I think she would have done a much better job in the role. So, highly recommend Alien Romulus if you're into the Alien movies at all. I don't know. Have you seen? I'm assuming you've seen the first one, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've seen.
You're not into the franchise?
I've seen like 3 of them. I haven't seen any of the recent ones though.
Neither have I. I skipped Prometheus and Covenant and kind of just went right to Romulus. I might go back and rewatch them now, or not rewatch them, but watch them and say, maybe I'll try to do the whole series kind of thing. But even if I don't, this one's still a good standalone part of the franchise.
Yeah.
Then just to be in the Christmas spirit, to get out of the mood of the all the regular Christmas movies that you kind of watch every year, I did a couple of Christmas horror movies. Is what I decided to do. I watched one called Better Watch Out. I think your daughter's going to enjoy that one.
Okay.
But too predictable for me. I called the twist really early on, and so maybe I ruined it for myself that way. But still enjoyable enough. And then if she ever has seen the movie The Visit, she'll recognize the brother and sister duo from that movie in this one.
Okay.
Which made this one kind of a fun watch, because I really enjoyed The Visit.
Yeah.
Even though I know Shyamalan gets a lot of hate, I really enjoyed The Visit. Let's see. Then I followed that up with the remake of Black Christmas. I'd seen parts of the original Black Christmas, and I was like, oh, this is another Blumhouse movie. Let's go ahead and give it a shot. It's just on streaming, quick one to watch, and boy, is it awful.
Yeah.
It's so bad. Just really bad. Not going to recommend this for any horror lover out there at all, ever.
Okay.
Followed that up with another one I couldn't even get through, kind of turned it off, but it had Nick Frost tied to it. And I was like, Shaun of the Dead, Nick Frost, let's give this one a shot. Called Black Cab. Shut it off. It was just boring. Just couldn't get into it at all. Didn't really catch my attention whatsoever. No go from there. Followed that up with really quick watches of. Did you ever take the time to watch Mark Duplass's Creep?
No, I didn't.
Okay. I don't know if that's a movie that you'd even. It's horror, but it's not your traditional horror by any means. It was unique, but it's found footage, so the camera movement is a little shaky.
Yeah.
The first one's really good. I really like the first one. The second one, but they did a follow-up series. Because we got AMC Plus because Jen really wanted to watch the second season of the Daryl Dixon Show.
Yeah.
Which actually turned out to be okay. Only 6 episodes, but she's still into the whole universe. So, take that for what it is. But since we had that, I'm kind of watching a few things on there because we canceled it after the first month.
Yeah.
We'll just watch it until it runs out. But they did what's a series based off the Creep movie. They did it's called the Creep Tapes. And it shows... I don't know if you know anything about the movie, so if I tell you anything about this, it might be a spoiler.
Okay.
I will just go, it gives you more depth to the character from the original movie.
Okay.
And he's in the second one too. And the second one you can take it or leave it. But if you enjoy the first one, this is a good little supplementary to it, is what I'll call it. And it's super fast to get through. They're like 20 minutes each.
Okay.
It's super fast. And last one I have not finished. I started it. It kept my attention enough to want to see what's going on with it because they called it a mixture between The Walking Dead and A Quiet Place. It's called Azrael.
Okay.
And I am just going to give it a shot. It's post-apocalyptic. It's about a woman that escapes a cult, but the cult is chasing her down. That's as far as I got. So I don't know what's going on from there. And then I read a bunch of Superman books. I needed to write down the one that I'd recommend because it's in the Bendis run, and you know how much I hate the Bendis run, but I'm still going to power through it. But what was so funny about this one was at least he was self-aware of the criticism that was going on while he was writing it because of the outrage people had about John being aged up.
Right.
And I'm glad I have continued with it to know that at least Bendis was aware of it because he called himself out. And because he wrote a scene where Superman is upset because he lost time with John, which is how many times have we talked about this? I've talked about it ad nauseum. I beat this issue to death. But the fact that Bendis recognized it and wrote a couple pages dedicated to basically Superman's mental state about the entire thing and about how Superman has every right to be mad about it.
Right. Because
time was stolen from him. And I go, at least Bendis is self-aware that he fucked up. That's basically what I got from it. He knows he did. He knows it, and he wrote about it, and basically they're just too stubborn to take it back. You know what I mean? You could easily take this all back. Easily. It could be done in 2 seconds. Just write it. Now, the other charming part to it, though, is as far as the age up there is, you have to, of course, write when John gets back. It's the reintroduction of John aged up, right?
Right.
But they actually do one prior to when John gets his own book because actually there's this little part where in his solo book, when you look at John in the solo book, he's older than the scenes that occur in the Bendis book. I would say in his solo book, he looks like he's already 18.
Yeah.
Because he spends time, I guess there's this gap, though, where he's going to school, but he's going to school in the future. And basically saying he's going away to college. But I'm like, the age that he leaves to go with the Legion. I don't know if you knew about this. Did you know about this part?
No, I didn't.
Where he leaves with the Legion of Superheroes, and he goes to live in the future with them for a while. Because they ask him to come.
Yeah.
And so there's this gap of time, I guess, there. But before he leaves to go with the Legion of Superheroes, he comes home. He's aged up. He's bigger and stronger. Or I'm sorry, bigger, taller, and just older than Damian. But that's his best friend. And you know how the Super Sons book is beloved by a lot of the fan base.
Right.
they do this scene within the book itself where it's the reintroduction of the new John to Damien.
Yeah.
And oh, they did such a good job. It's so good. It's they at least give us fans that enjoyed the Super Sons book so much. They at least let that relationship say, "Hey, you've left, you're back." All the emotions, all the everything, and it's so good, Jay. It's so wonderful to get to be
Yeah.
able to see that on the page. Um, so I guess the criticism, at least they gave the fans something. I won't call it fan service because it felt natural
Right.
and it felt their relationship kind of picks up where it left off, and it's just two best friends reuniting after being apart for what felt like a few weeks for Damien, but years for John. And
Yep.
so just incredible. It was really good to see. It was really touching, very sweet. Liked it a lot. And I'm just still working my way up to War World, whereas where I'm trying to get to, I got two more trades before I hit War World, where eventually, hopefully, I'll get caught up in Superman World, and then that way, once I get caught up in the Superman World, I can kind of bounce to whatever after that, I guess.
Yeah.
It'll just put me on the farther behind on the Batman World, just because I can't ever get caught up.
Yeah.
Two more real quick ones, and then we can end it on that
Okay.
note. Read Frogcatcher. Did you recommend that one to me, or is that
Yes.
just one I picked up?
No, I recommended that.
You're an asshole. God damn, I wasn't ready for that.
Yeah.
I was not ready for that after everything dealing with my mom's passing.
Yeah.
I don't think it was the right time to read that
Probably
book
not.
because it's such a there's very little words or sorry script in that book in regards to the dialogue.
Yeah.
Very little speaking at all in that book. All done through Lemire's artwork in there. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. 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 Touching, heartbreaking, soul crushing, fearful,
And
just a Lemire thoughts on life and death.
and
It's
it's
kind of what it is.
so
And it's beautiful.
simple.
So simple and so beautiful though. The simplicity is beautiful in it. And if you're asked, I don't know, did you buy that one?
Yes, I did.
Well worth it. Make
Yeah.
sure it sits proudly on a shelf because that one needs to be shared with as many people as possible.
Yep.
That's a beautiful book. Beautiful book. Love the drawing. His style is just different, but it's still just beautiful.
Yeah.
So could not recommend that one enough. I don't know if you gave it enough justice in regards to your recommendation on it, but it just hit the right time in my life,
Yeah.
I guess, and it hit home. And so you are an asshole, but you're not an asshole. You're a beautiful asshole. Maybe that's the episode. I don't know if we can call it that. I'll get flagged, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, gosh, what a great book. And then I will finish on I'm not done with the book yet, but I promised Emmy I would read it.
Mm-hmm.
I am reading The Wild Robot so that we can watch the movie together.
Oh, okay.
Because I promised her, I tried to get motivate her to read more.
Yeah.
And my motivation for her to read more was if you read the book, I'll take you to go see the movie. And it took her forever to read the damn book because she refused to read. And so the movie's not, I don't even know if it's in the theater anymore. But she finally finished it, and I go, well, I want to read it too, and it won't take me as long. So
yeah,
I'm about halfway through it, and damn, it's good. It's such a good kids book.
Yeah.
But it's not. It's like it is a kids book, but man, the chapters I read last night, wow.
See, that's what I've heard.
It hits on the human emotions and just, gosh, it's coming from a robot. It's the point of view from a robot and a goose, is what I'll tell you. But it's still it's Disney-esque, but of course it wasn't. This is not a Disney property, if I remember correctly. I don't believe it's a Disney property.
No, it's not.
I think it's Dream whatever.
DreamWorks,
yeah. But man, just a good book so far, and I know this is supposed to be a kids book, but man, this is not for kids in a way. Not saying that's inappropriate. I'm saying it's hitting on topics that. Maybe this is their way of doing it. Maybe this is your introduction to kids of dealing with just the trials and tribulations of life and going through things.
Yeah.
And man, it is so damn good so far. And I have a feeling that movie's going to crush me. And it's going to be one of those movies that you watch as a parent and you're going to just bawl.
Yeah.
I have a feeling. I'm not there yet, but man, it's just giving me that vibe that I'm going to get to at some point in the book where it's just going to crush my soul. I really think so.
That Pixar vibe for adults.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. There's a good comparison. So But yeah, that's kind of where things are. Trying to ramp back up into getting caught up on some things, and yeah, it's like you said, it's hard, especially with the holidays. You think you have more time to do stuff like read and watch and do stuff like that, but no, we're super busy.
Yeah.
So we'll see what I can get done before we do another one there.
Yeah.
So.
And we're coming up on year end, so we're going to have to do lists.
Oh God. Oh my God. Dude, it feels like we just did one.
I know.
It honestly does.
It really does.
Because didn't we? Because was 23? Was that the year of your movie where we can't we can't agree at all? Was it everywhere all at once? Is that 23?
No, I think that was 22.
That was 22. What do you have your list somewhere? What was your best movie of 23? I know my list is well, I don't ever make a list. I just write down a ton of movies and we kind of just.
I think at the top of my list was Guardians 3 and then Holdovers.
God, Holdovers. That's a 23 movie, isn't it?
Yeah.
Killers of the Flower Moon is that year, which that's whatever.
Yeah.
2020. Now, I think I watched it this year, but I guess it's a 23 movie, and that's what we always get messed up on, isn't it?
Yeah.
You and I watched a bunch of 23 shit in 24. Because Godzilla -1 is being listed as Godzilla -1,
and that might have moved to the top of the list.
That's God, it might. It just might, man.
Yeah,
that's the thing we need to do before we do our 24 list. Is we need to revisit 23.
Okay, we can do that.
What we're gonna have to do. I think so, because we watch so much to try to get caught up on everything, and we just can never stay current. So yeah, no, we'll have to keep that in mind.
Yeah,
best of 24 movies. Damn, we got to do that.
I know.
All right, we'll get around to it. Sounds like a plan. I got homework to do then.
Yep, me too.
Start compiling. All right, man. It was good catching up.
All right.
And I'll talk to you soon.
Okay. See you.
Right.
Thanks for listening. Follow us on social media at Nyrdcast. It's NYRDCAST, and at our website, nerdcast.com. Be sure to rate and review the podcast on iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you listen to your podcasts. This week's featured song is Lost and Found by Parkway Cinema. Check the show notes to see where you can donate to their cause, Bros Before Lows, their foundation they're starting to raise money for men's mental health.
Each other. We were lost and found each other. We were lost when we found each other. Would you take me back this time around? Would you make things last? Come together and forget the past. Tell me, is it too much to us? Like a roller coaster going up and down and never ends. Always push me closer to the edge, and then you say we're friends. Tell me what is on your mind. Am I wasting all my time? Put your middle fingers up. I can't read between the lines. And on again. I guess we'll never understand. Would you stick with me if the world is turning upside down? Would you hold me close? We were lost and found. We were lost and found each other. We were lost and found each other. We were lost when we found each other. Scream this loud. I bet you love it when I hype the crowd. Would you jump into a time machine? Tell me if the world ends, it's you and me. See the constellations in your eyes. I'm lost in outer space. Can I be your rocket man? We'll travel through the galaxy. Tell me what is on your mind. Am I wasting all my time? Put your middle fingers up. I can't read between the lines. And on again. I guess we'll never understand. Would you stick with me if the world is turning upside down? Would you hold me close? We were lost and found. We were lost and found each other. We were lost and found each other. We were lost when we found each other. Stick with me when the world is turning upside down. Would you hold me close? I was lost and found.